one of the things that I do talk about when, it reminds me of when you say all on the head is really grounding is a really important thing that I teach people as well. And that's just where you're calm and cool and collected in that space of just, if there's chaos going on around you. And that what that involves, really, there's a little technique that I use with people.
Welcome to GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, aka the Going North Podcast. I'm your host, best-selling author, and certified self-leadership trainer with the John Maxwell team, Dom Brightman. And this is the podcast where authors from around the world help you realize that success is tangible. Now let's get on with the show. How's it going, my friend? It's your host, Dominic Dom Brightman here, just giving you a quick forewarning/disclaimer that, hey, these podcasts are recorded on average 2 to 3.5 months ahead of the release date. So if you're hearing today's episode, most likely it was recorded 2 to 3.5 months before it was launched. So just throwing it out there in case you hear something that may sound a little off. That's the reason why. Now let's get on with the show. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, known as GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, it's the Going North Podcast, and we got one heck of a super special, awesome human for you today because my goodness, we got a metaphorical Brittany the Builder here, because this chick has got all sorts of tools to help you feel better and not butter, because my goodness, because this wonderful lady right here, 15 years ago, accidentally went from being a regular suburban mom to a full-blown psychic in 30 seconds. You heard that right, folks, 30 seconds. And to cope with the understandable psychological break, she worked with earth healers and spirit guides to fight committing herself to a psychiatric hospital, and along the way she discovered that the key to not only surviving but thriving as a result of her newfound gifts, and she became a hands-on healer working with clients all over the world, folks, all over the world. And thanks to overcoming that, she also has a certificate in nutritional counseling and is a naturopathically trained and loves teaching people the connection between the human energy system, mental health, and physical health indeed. So let's give it up for Miss A.H. herself, Miss Amazing and Heavenly Amanda Hainline. How you doing today, Amanda?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, doing fabulous. Well, as you know, with all introductions, they're not allowed to be 5 days long, so mind filling in any cavities I may have missed about you?
Well, I've been doing this work for 16 years and I've really enjoyed this journey, and writing this book has been fabulous. Like you said, I went from a regular suburban mom to full-blown psychic, and it was about 30 seconds, and it happened in an energy work session. And after that, it was a little bit chaotic in my life, a little bit crazy. I started hearing voices and seeing things and being able to feel everyone else's emotions all at once. And it was a little bit disturbing until I got a handle on it a few months later. I kept going back to healers and really trying to get a grip on everything. And during that time, I learned how to release emotions. And so that's what the book is about. I started writing it during the pandemic when everyone was really having a hard time, and thought this is a perfect time to write a book about emotions and teaching people all about it from this energetic perspective that I have gained over the last 15 years working with people one-on-one. So that's where the book came from.
Ah, sweet. That's what I'm talking about indeed. So did the younger version of Amanda at 13 imagine herself one day being an international best-selling author with all the energy work that you do, helping out all these wonderful people?
Well, when I was 13, I actually I was very much into church, and at that point I started reading a series of books actually that were about children that were psychic, and they had all of these supernatural powers, so to speak. And I actually started praying for those powers when I was 13 years old, And then I kind of got away from it after I stopped reading the books, but it's something that kind of stuck with me. I thought, oh, wouldn't that be cool? And then when I was 30, it happened, and it was a little different than I thought it would be, honestly. But it's been really great to help so many people, and I just see so many remarkable shifts and changes in people as they start really releasing their emotional states and, working on themselves. It makes a huge difference in their life.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. So you heard that right, folks. Prayer requests usually get answered. It ain't gonna be in your time, but it'll be in the perfect aligned time, indeed, y'all. Superpowers came 17 years later, folks.
Yep, definitely did. They definitely did.
There you go. That's right. Hashtag Wonder Woman swag, I imagine now.
Oh, some days I feel like that, and some days I just want to stay in bed. So you know what? It's balance. It's balance.
It's like, yeah, that's right. Got my lasso of truth right here. Gonna turn this into a snuggie. All right, there we go.
That's
Yeah.
right. Exactly. Exactly. It's Mercury retrograde right now. So yes, yes, it's all about the snuggie at the moment.
I kind of knew something was off today when we got on. I'm like, something feels a little off. Like, okay, so maybe that's what it is. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's been a little weird. It's been a little weird today. So yeah, yeah. It's if you're having trouble with communication or technology, your emails getting eaten by your computer, that kind of thing, this is the time that it happens. So definitely, definitely can be an influence right now.
Okay. So for those who are new to that, it feels like it keeps happening. Is that like a quarterly thing with the whole Mercury retrograde sort of thing?
Yeah, it happens 2 to 3 times a year. And the as the planets, as we move around, the sun and the planets move around us as well, it causes all of these different alignments energetically. Things happen on the earth, back in December, I think through the first part of January, there was what's called a Venus retrograde. So all the planets go retrograde at one time or another. And whenever Venus goes retrograde, a lot of people, break up, the relationships end when this happens. And so there we saw a lot of that, December, people splitting up. And then now Mercury retrograde is all about communication. They say not to sign contracts during this time. It's all about kind of being retrospect or introspective, and looking and planning for the next phase. But it takes about 6 weeks. It's about 6 weeks twice a year that it really the whole process takes. So I tend to not do any new projects during that time and just kind of work on things I've got going on because things tend to get missed or kind of fall apart during that time. So that's why I always tell my team, I'm like, okay, it's coming up. We need to batten down the hatches.
So all the hiding indeed. All right. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what the H in Hainline really stands for, hiding during Mercury retrograde. All right, cool.
There you go. There you go. Hey, sometimes you just got to do it.
That's right. Even if it involves mountains. That's right. Just got to do it. That's right,
Yep.
indeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Especially if there's Nikes on that mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my goodness. So, with all of that wonderful work you're doing, being able to be a book boomer and publishing and writing and publishing your book during the wonderful year that shall not be named, even though I'm going to name it 2020, and having prayers answered that you had answered later in life to now, where it's like, all right, so she's shining as bright as a 200-watt bulb in a 10-watt bulb era. So my goodness, so what helps you really keep your radiance today? Because you penned this wonderful book with all these wonderful tools that kind of make you metaphorically Brittany the Builder, since you're not a Bob or a Brittany, but you catch my drift though.
Yeah. I think it's really important for people to understand that they have an energy system, like we were talking about earlier, chakras. And there's a lot of people that think, oh, that's just an Eastern religion kind of thing. And that's part of what the book's about, is saying, no, everybody has that. Everybody has an energy system, and all your issues, like that are physical issues, were once energetic issues. They were once in your energy system, and then they trickle down and become these emotions that we hold on to. And then they trickle down more if we don't, release those emotions, and they become physical ailments. So what I encourage people to do is always, as soon as they have emotions come up, just welcome those emotions up and thank them for being there, because they're not there for no reason. And then just release those emotions and say, I choose to release this emotion and anything that's attached to, and just have a envisioning it floating off into, into space, out the window, whatever you want to say, and then just taking some deep breaths. And if you do that on a regular basis, it really does help you feel better, just overall.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. And you might even become a happy Martian detective, like one of our past guests mentioned, indeed. That's right. That's right, indeed. When you get to feel like you're floating out into outer space, you're doing some wonderful breathing, indeed. Getting that air in you. That's right. Getting that air in you. Just making sure it doesn't all go to the head, though. That's right.
Yeah, don't want to do that. One of the things that I do talk about when, it reminds me of when you say all on the head, is really grounding is a really important thing that I teach people as well. And that's just where you're calm and cool and collected in that space of just, if there's chaos going on around you. And that what that involves, really, there's a little technique that I use with people where you just envision roots going into the ground from the bottoms of your feet, because we have root chakras, or I'm sorry, foot chakras in our feet that kind of go into the ground. And a lot of times when we're scared or upset, stressed, we pull those up, and it makes us feel really frantic. So if you envision those going into the ground, and then you breathe up through those roots and bring that energy up into your body, it really helps you to stabilize regardless of what's going on around you. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, or you drop a pie you just baked on the floor upside down. It just helps you to be calmer during those things, because things like that happen. So you want to stay calm, and especially if you have little kids or lots of other people around, being collected in those moments really can make a big difference in your life.
Oh, yeah, that's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Especially if that pie was intended for some comedy, just to throw it in someone's face, like, ha ha, the cream rise to the top, and you got cream pie to the face with this wonderful lemon meringue pie here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And glad you mentioned the grounding, and heck, I guess some people even call it earthing a bit as well, since the wonderful feet getting some of that earth quality time, that youth, earth QT, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Because heck, it feels even better too when you can do it. 'Cause I know from time to time, but sometimes do that myself, and yeah, it does make you feel a lot better. Get to contact with that nature.
It does. Yeah. Going barefoot outside is a big one too. It really is actually really healthy for your body. Or even if you can lay down in the grass for a little bit, it really is a helpful thing. It helps to ground your body, and it helps to clear out negative energy that you've got stored up. So getting that sunshine on you and getting that earth under you, it's a good thing.
There we go. It's Amanda, Martha Stewart Hainline in the building, baby. It's a good thing. That's right. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So speaking of good things, I hear you love the color red, and if I'm not mistaken, you like to keep red walls at least in one of the rooms of your house, if I'm not mistaken.
I red is a color that I do keep around. Whenever we're talking about colors, one of the things about the color red is that it can really invoke confidence. If you're lacking confidence in your life, having red clothing or painting a wall red can really boost up your confidence. Energetically, it's just a very strong color. And you can actually even envision breathing that color in if you're having trouble with confidence, and it can really help you out, help you feel strong and like you can go out and conquer anything.
There we go. That's right. Breathe in the tomato, y'all. That's right. Breathe it
Yeah,
in.
that's right. Tomatoes.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. All the confidence indeed. So my goodness, so with all this wonderful knowledge and you got this wonderful book out indeed and all the wonderful things you've been doing, is there any future projects you got planned even though we're in the retrograde period at the time of this recording?
You know what? Yes, we have a membership coming out that goes with the book called the Feel Better membership. We also have a journal that we're going to be doing. That's the Feel Better journal that goes with the book. And then I'm coming out with a manifestation course probably in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to start bringing people into that and teaching them how to manifest in a new way. So I'm really excited about all those projects coming up.
Woohoo! Manifestation, baby. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's right, indeed. So you're that right, folks. You got to be leaving apples on Amanda's virtual desk now, folks. The course is coming. The course is coming. Heck, it might even be out by the time you hear this, indeed. So my goodness, memberships and courses, indeed. Definitely got to check that out, like all the library books. We got Metaphorical Brittany the Builder, y'all. That's right. She's helping you feel good in 5 minutes, y'all. You'll have the whole thumb and the whole hand, y'all. That's right, indeed. So, is there a question that you wish you'd be asked more often when you're on the guest side of the game on these podcasts?
Hmm. I can't think of one off the top of my head. People usually ask me about just stuff in the book or things that have happened in my life, kind of stuff, but I can't think of a specific question off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, what would you say is probably one of your biggest quote unquote failures that actually led to your current level of success?
That's a really good question. I would say that this is the third book that I have sat down and tried to write. And the first two, I just couldn't get my hands around it all the way. They just didn't have the legs that I wanted them to have. And it was very frustrating because I felt like I had a book in me that I needed to get out. And so when I sat down to write this one and it kept going and going, I wrote on it for about a year. So it was exciting to bring that to complete fruition finally, because it was one of those things that I had definitely wanted to do for a long time, and it felt really good to get it done. So I'm excited it's finally out.
Woohoo! That's right, with the big old exit date. The excitement is real. So, what do you think helped you to finally get over the edge, to finally get over that hump?
Mm. Well, actually, I can account it to something pretty specific. Is I found a course actually online that talked about how to put together a nonfiction book, and I've been struggling with the format of the book and how to put it together and make it to where people could really use it. And I went through this course, and it was absolutely fantastic, and it's just all the light bulbs went on, and I thought, oh, now I know how to put it together. So that course was really, really helpful. It was by Neil Gordon, and he did a fabulous job. Really easy way to understand how to put together a nonfiction book. So I always recommend that course to people if they're looking to write a nonfiction book, and especially self-help. So it's pretty awesome program. But that was definitely what got me over the hump that I was stuck on.
Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about, indeed. She got over the camel, y'all. That's right. Got over the big camel hump, indeed, to finally business of immortality status, y'all. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. So, in addition to getting probably the right online course, anything else you would recommend fellow aspiring authors to do to finally join the business of immortality by publishing their books?
Well, I would say just go for it. The thing is, the book doesn't write itself. So sit down and just start writing. If you're not sure if you want to use the parts of the book that you're writing, if you come through and you're just not sure, put those in a separate file. You don't have to delete it. So that way you don't feel like you're losing anything. But definitely just write it, just do it, and get somebody to help you review it and hone it and all of that, because it's worth doing. It's a worthwhile project. It feels very good to get that accomplished. So I encourage anyone who's thinking about a book just to jump in and do it.
There you go, folks. That's right. Jump in, y'all. That's right. Put on your bunny ears if you have to, y'all. Jump in. That's right. That's right indeed. Heck, maybe even get a bunny ears and a pogo stick and jump in, y'all. I'm telling you.
Yes, that's perfect. Get all the
Oh,
bases covered.
yeah, that's right. All the bases. That's right. Fort Bragg. That's right. Fort Meade. All of them. That's right. But maybe not Fort Knox. Avoid that one. But yeah, get all the bases covered. Let me stop. Definitely to get home base covered indeed. Gotta swing for the fences, y'all. Gotta swing for the fences. Well, and speaking of magical fences, even though it has nothing to do with this question, if your particular book, this fabulous book that's making folks feel better in 5 minutes, if it was a food item, what would it be and why?
Ooh, what an interesting question. Hmm. You know, I don't know why grapes come to mind. It's really, I don't know why that's the visual I'm getting. I would think hamburger or something like that, because it's juicy. But grapes, because I think you can digest the book a little bit at a time. You can really chew on it, go through it, think about it. So I think grapes are a really good analogy.
Ah, me like you indeed. That's right. That's right indeed, folks. That's right. So you too will feel like a metaphorical hedonist being fed grapes when you read this book, y'all. You will feel amazing. That's right. That's right indeed. You're actually the first one to refer to the books as grapes. Funny enough for you, we had a past guest referred to his book as blueberries. So about time we get some more fruit.
Ah, there you go. There you go. In the fruit family.
Oh yeah, that's right with all the juices, because grape juice is great. That's right indeed, because folks are born to taste the grapes. You're born to taste the grapes, y'all. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but you're in the year of 2022 with all of your knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
I would say that stop being so hard on yourself. Everything that you're going through right now is going to come in to help you out later on down the road. So every experience you're having, regardless of what it is leading you to a really amazing place. So just don't get so down and pick your head up and keep going.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. That's right, folks. If you're beating yourself up for no reason, thinking you're not enough, stop it, y'all. That's right, stop it. Stop being so hard on yourself indeed. Like, put the metaphorical bat down. Put it down. Put the brick down. Don't beat yourself up, y'all. That's right. Focus on what you can do. Focus on the gifts you have already, y'all, because you can do it. Because Amanda's done it herself, and she's still doing it, and she's probably got even more books coming out after the course and the membership site as well, folks. So it's definitely far from over, and it's definitely going to be the beginning indeed. And for those who want to probably begin taking in some of your wares and all the wonderful stuff you're doing now and in the future, what's the best way for folks to do so, Amanda?
Well, you can get a hold of me at my website, amandahainline.com. It's AmandaHainline.com. And my book, Feel Better in 5 Minutes, an empowering guide to gain control over your emotions, is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And then we have a Facebook group that's called Daily Energy with Amanda Hainline that you can sign up for free and just stay in the know. And then we have every couple of weeks or so, I do a Facebook Live. So you can ask your questions in there. So those are the ways that you can get a hold of me. Pretty easy.
Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about, Dade. That's what I'm talking about, Dade. That's right, daily energy, y'all. That's right, feel the radiance. That's right. She may have that yellow aura around her, y'all, one day, maybe another one the next, and it'll be good either way. So definitely check it out, all in the show notes, indeed, and buy some copies of her fabulous book and give it to some penguins, some camels, some cats, some dogs. Heck, even give it to some grandmothers with a pet parakeet, so that way they can read the book to random strangers and be like, a call, man, is amazing. Call. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, any parting words before we close up shop, Amanda?
Well, everyone can change where they are with their emotional states. Everyone can feel better quickly. It's really, really simple, and it only takes about 5 minutes.
Thanks a bunch for sharing some of your time out of your day to listen to the Going North podcast. I would be really honored if you head over to the website goingnorthpodcast.com and share this episode with someone that you care about. And also, for bonus points, if you like, click on the shop tab on the website and grab some gear, advance others to advance yourself if you haven't already. Have a great rest of your day and keep advancing north to your greatness.